It's another day, and another major media company is doing a hit piece on Tulsi Gabbard. Hi, thanks for watching. Today, the last day of the year. Happy New Year. I want to talk about this story that went big on Reddit yesterday, and it involves CBS News and Tulsi Gabbard. See, this was the #1 trending story on Reddit, and there's a lot of problems with this particular story. Now, it's from a week ago, but for whatever reason, it picked up really big on Reddit. So let's take a look at the story and understand what's wrong with it. Okay, so here's the story from CBS News. It's from December 24th by Melissa Quinn. Tulsi Gabbard missed 85% of House votes this fall. Hawaii's ex-governor wants her to resign. Well, that just sounds really bad. Let's keep reading. Hawaii's former governor says running for president is getting in the way of Tulsi Gabbard's representing the state in Congress. Neil Abercrombie called for her to resign from the House of Representatives. Abercrombie, a Democrat who served until 2014, said in a press conference on Monday that it was quite clear Gabbard is unable to serve the people of Hawaii and run for a Democratic nomination at the same time. She's missed virtually all of the votes so far, said Abercrombie, including one last week on a $1.4 trillion spending package that funds federal agencies through September 2020. Quote, whatever her future holds in terms of a presidential campaign, I think in order for the people of Hawaii to be properly represented, she should resign the seat and allow a special election to take place. And this goes on to talk about all the votes that she missed and just really run her down. And is there any response or any context to any of this whatsoever? No, not at all. In fact, Melissa Quinn couldn't be bothered to put any of this into context. And why is it important to put it into context? Well, you see, often the way things are framed lets you know what the person framing it wants you to believe. And in this case, as I've discussed many times on this channel, most people only read the headlines, and in this story, even if you go into it with the context, it's not there. And so people are left with the impression that somehow Tulsi Gabbard is missing a bunch of votes, more so than other candidates, and this is something that's really bad. But is that true? Well, here's some things to think about. Which votes were missed? You know, in Congress, there's a lot of votes, and some of them are silly. They're just roll call votes. They don't mean anything at all. And it's pretty ridiculous that they actually have to be physically present to do those votes. So that would require someone who's on the campaign trail to travel, put in a vote that means nothing, and then go back. That's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. And it's bad for the environment, too. So that's ridiculous right off the bat. Also, when you look at this, it makes it seem like she's doing something that is different than any of the other candidates. But in fact, if you look at the other candidates and how many votes that they were at, Bernie has missed 100% of the votes in that time period. Cory Booker's missed 99% of the votes. Elizabeth Warren's missed 98% of the votes. They've missed way more than Tulsi Gabbard. And what this author did is they selected a certain time frame to get the highest percentage of missing votes, just the last quarter. Didn't compare it to the entire year, because if you were to do that, you would see that her attendance is pretty good, and it's better than just about every other candidate that's running for president. The only one that I could find that was slightly better was Amy Klobuchar, but it was nearly a tie. And everyone else has missed way more votes than Tulsi Gabbard. But this author has not put that in this piece. There's no context whatsoever. And I know analogies and examples aren't very persuasive and they're not very good, but we expect when we read a story that we don't want to be misled, okay? And if I were to here's a silly example. If I were to say, hey, Tom missed every single work meeting that we had on Saturdays for the entire year, you would think, oh my God, Tom, you missed every Saturday meeting? That's terrible. But maybe what I didn't say is that we didn't have any meetings on Saturday. So what I said, Tom missed every Saturday meeting, it's technically true, but it's very biased and it's very misleading. And that is what Melissa Quinn has done in this article. All the other candidates have missed way more votes, but she is making it appear that Tulsi Gabbard is some kind of anomaly for missing votes. And in addition to that, this governor is irrelevant, okay? He lost in the primary. He's done. Nobody cares what this guy has to say. But he was able to poke his head up, say something nasty about Tulsi Gabbard, and CBS News, they ran to the story and they printed all of his words without any rebuttal and without putting it in any context whatsoever. This is an awful hit piece. This is an awful smear job, and the media should do much better. And why this is a big deal, why this particular story, why did it become the #1 trending story on Reddit? Well, that's something that I want to get into more in the new year. But there's an organization called Share Blue, and this is run by David Brock, and it's very closely aligned with Hillary Clinton. And what they do is they pay people full-time salaries to sit and comment and upvote and downvote on Reddit. So Reddit is no longer organic because there's all kinds of people that are paid to be there to elevate certain stories and to push down other stories, to elevate certain comments and to push down comments that they don't agree with. This is a perfect example of this organization working hard. They're being paid money to elevate this hit piece on Tulsi Gabbard, and it's disgusting. It really is. I don't know. Is anything going to change in 2020? Probably not. It's probably going to get a whole lot worse. But let me know your thoughts on this story in the comments. And if you like this story, please hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and share it with someone else. Have a great year. Peace.